This is the Yip. As in, yippee! But it didn't always look like this. The Yip started its life as an old, worn-out trainer with at least 20 years of life. I picked this up a few weeks ago at the Dayton Modelrama, where there was a ton of beautiful airplanes, great people to talk to, and a new vendor in town. I had no idea what I was looking at, but it was cheap, it was gas, and the guy said it ran, so I couldn't help myself. I ended up paying $150 for the plane, a set of robot mechanical retracts, an electrical starter, and a manual fuel pump. I got home, opened it up, and saw that it has an OS engine in there, which didn't really mean anything to me at the time. But according to ChatGPT, it's actually a pretty great engine, it says. So I was thrilled about that. And then of course, I had to give it a start before I got it naked. I tried for about 10 minutes with a chicken stick and realized I wasn't gonna get anywhere. I used the electric starter and I surprisingly got it started. So after a few runs to annoy the neighbors, I finally started ripping the Modelcoat off. Incorrectly, of course. So it left a ton of residue, but then I took a minute to find a YouTube video and became a pro at removing 20-year-old Monocoat. Before we knew it, she was naked. I tried mocking up some ideas, but ultimately just went off this for inspiration. Let me know in the comments below if I nailed it, and if you're subscribed yet. Yeah, right there, just click. Go on, I'll wait. So off to the races we were with the Hangar 9 Ultracoat. The top features Corsair blue, the bottom is silver, and dividing the two halves, a bright yellow line. I wrapped the landing gear struts in carbon fiber wrap for dashing good looks, and 3D printed a little spacer to keep the tire from rubbing on the strut.
Tu linda voz, tu hermoso ser, la luz de la luna y el perfume de tu piel. Fue tu linda voz, tu hermoso ser, la luz de la luna y el perfume de tu piel.
For the cowling, I used this high-speed Ready Strip citrus paint and varnish remover and scraped all the old cutters off. There were a few cracks and broken parts on the cowling, so I epoxied them and sanded it down once it was cured. I applied some sandable filler primer and sanded until I got an eggshell surface for the paint. The cowling would have come out amazing, but I made so many mistakes. For starters, I taped the line in the wrong spot, as you can see here. I also added a piece of tape to a part that wasn't painted yet, just to see how it would peel, and that was obviously a bad idea. Then I got a little impatient and taped up part of the yellow that wasn't completely dry yet and ruined that finish. So I had to do that again. And finally, I got it looking decent. The spinner was also a nightmare. Mostly me being impatient. But anyways, once the cutting was ready, I threw on some decals and we were off to tuning the engine. But first, a little bit about those decals. JLCPCB has been incredibly useful in creating scratch-built planes like the XHawk, custom ground control stations like the TRUNC, and now we're going to be leveraging the incredible production capabilities of JLCPCB to turn this old dog into a high-tech, good-looking, perfectly flying airplane. For starters, I'm thinking of implementing a proper lighting circuit with super bright LEDs on the wingtips, leading edge, and somewhere on the fuselage. I also want to have a remote ignition system where I don't have to wear a diaper every time I start the... Babe, I told you those were the beans! For safety. For safety. Flying FPV with some head tracking goggles. Feel like a real acrobatic pilot. And finally, figuring out a way to start this thing electronically. Thank you, JLCPCB, for sponsoring this video. So I am a little dumb. I have been reading the manual on this thing, and I noticed it like it's not really matching up, but it's from the official website. Like it's for sure the OS 120 manual or whatever, but it's for the new engine. So I found this old vintage looking manual, and the carburetor matches up so much more. So turns out I was adjusting the throttle stop this whole time, not the low speed needle. I found out what the low speed needle was trying to find the throttle stop needle, right? Because now I was idling too high. I couldn't cut it off. So I was like, oh, I'm doing it. I'm working. It was just throttling up. I found out. So if you look in right next to the tube, there's like a black silicone or black rubber ring with a tiny brass flathead screw inside of it. So that's the low mixture adjustment valve. I was fiddling around thinking that was the throttle stop. The thing that I was adjusting was that screw that's right behind the tube. You can't see it. I could probably show you on the other side. It's that's the throttle stop. So we're gonna do this all over again and hopefully have much better results. Okay, well that was pretty good.
Yeah, that was a great turn, by the way.
So I know what you're thinking, right? How can I take off like that and then go do some unplanned aerobatics like that? I wish I could say it was on purpose, but I'm just really glad that I got out of it.
What am I getting? What?
Whoa, I don't know what the hell just happened there. Did you get that?
Yeah!
I'm pretty sure I spit it.
Oh my god. Okay, I need a break.